So, we are live. Yay. New scenery. Oh, Noki's already wanting to come up. Come here, Noki. Come on. Come on, little boy.
We got new things, new haircuts. Everything's happening right now.
There we go. I need a haircut.
Yeah, you do.
Hope you guys can hear us. It looks like the audio is picking up fairly well. We missed last week's live stream, but we had quite a bit going on.
Big life changes.
Yeah, life changes. So like I said, one thing you guys probably see is obviously scenery change from what we normally do. Normally we sit on the couch over there and have that just plain old boring white wall background. And I was able to finally get a computer desk, and so now I have my two monitors up here, and I have my big rig up here, and you can see I got my flight yoke right here.
It's got his handlebars.
Yeah, so one half is going to be for flight simming, the other half is going to be for just being on computer and editing or videos for my channel here, and for live streaming and stuff like that. So welcome everyone, and I didn't get scared by Tina this time.
You didn't. I was waiting. I saw it, and I was like, is it going to happen?
I saw it too, and I figured I was yakking too much, that it would be weird to interrupt going, to attack like I was scared.
You thought that was weird for you?
Yes.
Your world of weird?
I know, in my world of weird. But welcome Angel Gamer, and Tina Jones, and Dr. Osiris. Welcome guys to the channel. If anyone else is listening right now, welcome. Got a couple things we want to talk about. Like I said, first and foremost, last week took off because, I was completely didn't completely gut the bedroom, but rearranged a lot of stuff in there because my rig originally was in there, and I was walking it back and forth between the bedroom and here for live streams and creating content and stuff like that. And so there was a lot of tearing down of things, throwing things away, getting a new dresser, putting stuff, organizing it. Where we're sitting right now, there used to be a futon here that just had stuff sitting on it. So we threw out the futon. I had that for 20 plus years. It was my first bed as an adult.
Haven't we all been there?
Terrible. Yeah.
We have all been there.
Horrible. And it was on it still was good, but every time I moved, I would every time I would move, I would unbolt it, totally take it apart. Do you want to go over on Chayse's lap? No, you want to talk? You got things to say?
He has a lot of feelings.
Right.
He's been sitting here watching you do all these things, and he says, why aren't you spending more time with me?
Right.
I need it 24/7.
So, now I lost my train of thought. What I was
you were
saying.
talking about the futon you had for 20 years.
Oh yeah,
that wasn't bad.
And the thing is, so I would take it apart, I'd tear it down every time I'd move because it's just easier to move it in pieces. If anyone's had to move a futon, they know how terrible it is. So the Allen key you had to use an Allen key or an Allen wrench for the bolts, and those are just stripped. And so when I got all of them but one undone when I was going to throw it away, and it was that they were done for after that anyways. So I just ended up having to break the board so I could take it down in pieces. So that is long gone. That is no longer a part of my life, and I was able to get this desk today.
It's beautiful desk.
And it's nice. Yeah, nice 60-incher.
Oh, he's big size queen.
Yeah. So it's nice to be able to have everything here where I don't have to worry about moving stuff back and forth. Dog's name is Noki. This one is Noki right here. You can kind of see on the couch the little bit of legs sticking out. That's Gizzy. He's the Pomeranian. And Bailey's up on the back cushion, bar back cushion. Kind of maybe see his face a little bit. And that is Bailey, my min pin.
Back right there.
Yeah. Let's see. Shaved your head. It was liberating. Yes. I need a haircut bad. Angel, you are a friend of MC Toon. You live in Minnesota as well. Yes, I've met MC Toon at iFly, where I used to work. I used to work.
Yeah.
I could still get called back. It's the whole furlough thing.
You're on call back right now.
Right. They just don't have me on furlough anymore. I think legally they can't go longer than a year.
Reasons.
Yeah. So there's that. But yeah, I'm at MC Tune, and I live here in the Twin Cities, and I was hoping maybe like 2 weekends ago I could have met up with him to do. He was doing like a spring equinox type thing, but you were out of town and there was things going on, and so I wasn't able to make up. But cool that you know him and friends with him. Maybe once all this is done, we can meet up and all hang out or something and do something.
Yeah.
But let's see. Anyways, I was trying to catch up on the chat. I don't know. It looked like Chinese. I don't know Chinese. I don't know what any of that means, or if that's Japanese or Korean or Vietnamese or what. Oh, used to live with a couple of skydivers who from Wasota. I know quite a few people who jump out at Wasota. Ryan, gosh, what's his last name? He worked at iFly with me. He is engaged to a fellow iFly instructor, and he's a tandem instructor as well. Ryan Engs something or other. But yeah, and I know Mary Bauer, who's got over 20,000 jumps.
That's a lot of sky
over
time.
20,000 jumps, and a guy that they called Radio. And it says Noki. That's awesome. Yeah, Noki, exactly. That's how it's spelled. So yeah, Marshall. That's probably one I don't know. Of course,
the one person you don't know.
Noki, you are making me really warm.
I wish you'd come sit with me though.
Yeah, go sit with your mama.
Come here.
So there's that's what's been going on, doing a lot of cleaning, doing a lot of moving around. There's still some stuff to do out in the living room, so that's why last week I did not have a video created for the channel, and that's why we didn't go live. I know some people had been asking me about it, and that was the thing.
It was a lot, and something like that, you are not like someone who takes breaks from those moments. You are like to the end.
And the other problem too is like I start on one project, which then I noticed this stuff over here, which kind of is a part of Project A. So the next thing you know, I'm sidetracked with Project B and finishing that up before I get back to Project A, and it's a big old mess.
Yeah, but you powered through it all.
Yeah,
really proud.
Still got a little bit to do. But yeah. So, and then the other wonderful, glorious news that we found out yesterday. So we, Chase and I obviously engaged. We have our own bedroom in here, and then we have a roommate that we live with. It just kind of saves everyone some money. But it was his birthday, his 31st birthday on Monday, so he was doing a bunch of celebrating over the weekend. Cool to celebrate, but during this time, not maybe the best idea.
Right.
And, last year I turned 40, and I missed out on doing the big milestone of a 40th birthday celebration. Not that it wasn't fun, because Chase and I went out and shot off rockets, and we grilled T-bone steaks, and it was a beautiful day that day. So it was nice, but it wasn't, the big typical 40-year-old celebration that you do.
Yeah. So
he turns 31, and he pretty much spent the entire weekend away. Hello, Mark Short. And he was home. No, he went out Friday night. He came home Saturday, like maybe afternoon time, and he wasn't here for very long.
Didn't see him at all.
Yeah, he kind of just went through passing. We saw him go from his room to the bathroom, back to his room, and then back out of the apartment. And then he was gone all day Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And as he was coming back yesterday, he gave me a call to let me know that some people that he was around have tested positive for coronavirus. And, like I said, currently I'm not working, but Chase is, and Chase works at a coffee shop. And so it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's been a flustering time because I just became manager there. Yay!
Yeah, congrats on the promotion.
Just became a manager there. We're a mom and pop shop. This isn't a Starbucks or like a Caribou or anything. It's very very close working together. There's only I think like 7 of us on staff, and I take up about half the shift. The amount of time that I work there each day, I usually cover like half the day that we're open. And I'm the only closer except for the weekend people. And it became really difficult because immediately it's like, well, great, because now the things like I have to report to Mary, and if his test is to come back negative and how things go, it's like, I would have to potentially exit depending on exposure times and stuff like that. Right now we're playing in a luck of like that he hasn't been here at all. But right. I became mad. I became really mad because it's just like, there's so much you can do, and there's only so much you can do to prevent certain things and keep yourself safe. I understand that. But like for someone of our roommate's caliber, he tends to go out day and night, day and night, day and night, day and night. Doesn't get why he's tired. He's going out day and night, doing everything he can in the world during a time of a pandemic. And it's like, we go out and get groceries, we sometimes maybe go to a shop or two, but it's always masked. We're always very vigilant. We're very like cleansely people.
Usually try to be quick in and out.
Yeah, we don't really poke around a whole lot. There may be a day where I choose, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna maybe go to a thrift store, but then like I'm not hopping the whole town. I spend my time there. I get out and like I wash everything I get. I make sure that I'm sanitized and safe. And so it became frustrating because, like, as a mom and pop shop, if you lose one worker, depends on how some of the other workers feel, you lose them too in that time. And then immediately she either would have to, like, shut down to close down for the time that she can't make up because of the hours I'm making and doing, or, like, we had to find someone to fill that. And our boss, would be the only one filling it. And she comes in and she works beside us. So it just became this quick, just, like, scatter of, what the hell do we even do at this point?
Right. And quick say hello to Glover Mom. Saw that you made it in, so welcome. And congrats, Dr. Osiris, on 8 years and 4 months sober. But yeah, thankfully, Dark Steve, hello. Welcome to the party. Thankfully, the people that he was in contact with coronavirus was Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, our only interaction with him from Friday night up until now was him passing through the apartment. There wasn't any close contact with him or anything like that. No big conversations where there's a lot of breathiness going on.
No, barely looms out, and even in like the kitchen to go make food is very like literally bathroom, bedroom, bedroom, bathroom.
Right, and so we're kind of banking on the fact that we didn't catch it because of the very limited interaction that was going on.
Still planning on getting tested.
Yeah, still planning on getting tested this weekend. He got tested on Monday or Tuesday whenever he was coming back. Tuesday. Found out he was positive, and so he says he doesn't have any symptoms and stuff like that, and it's like, I told him, it was like, people are asymptomatic.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that you don't have it. We just hope that it doesn't get bad, because Chayse is asthmatic.
Mm-hmm.
Our roommate's asthmatic.
Yeah.
I'm a 40-year-old smoker, so it could turn out really bad for all of us if that's how it goes. And that's kind of what my video is going to be on a little bit tomorrow. I kind of just do a rant and rave type thing, so I'm not going to talk a hell of a lot about my thoughts and opinions on it as much as just our situation that we're in now.
Right. Well, it's like my boss, being that she knows she's mom pa, she knows she's very small. She like calls me, and like after I call her, and she goes, I want to put one of you guys up in the hotel. Like, it's either going to be you and Tanner, or it's going to be Joe. It has to be one other, because he wasn't here yet. He was traveling back from where he's coming from, and he was like out in Wisconsin, so it's a couple hours out for him. And so we were talking back and forth, and immediately we opt Joe to, and so we have a conversation with him over the phone, tell him what's going on and what needs to be. And it's just like, to me, like at that point, I was frustrated and I was embarrassed. And not embarrassed because of him. I'm embarrassed things had to escalate to that point to cause your safety. Of course, it's a pandemic. You have to do whatever you can to get by. But like, in my head, I'm like, if you were just thinking, like, once more, you can get exposure somehow. It's a virus. You can't stop certain things from getting you. But it's frustrating to me, and it becomes increasingly frustrating when someone gets warned about it, someone gets talked to about it, as if you're trying to show concern about them and your own safety, and you have someone who's with you who is not thinking of anyone else except for having a good time or escaping. And it's like, I get it. We all want to. I haven't done a show in person for months upon months upon months. It's something I was looking forward to actually trying to build upon, and I haven't been able to build on it at all.
Right.
I've been sitting here waiting, but to have someone else who's just running around doing whatever they want while I have to sit here like crossing my fingers and being like doing like the stupid stuff, which it's not stupid, I'm just frustrated. Whether it's like everything's gonna get better, be patient, use the time to work on yourself, work on your drag, and it's like, that's great, but I'm still mad. And then when this happens, it escalates me to such a higher point, because it's like my boss is telling my roommate that he has to go put himself in a hotel so that she doesn't risk getting shut down, and so we don't get risk of exposure.
Right.
It's like, this is ridiculous to me. It's absurd.
Yeah.
Absurdity. And like, we were talking, and it's like, of course, stuff like that, like I would definitely still opt to be like, oh, I should exit. I should go somewhere else so I don't get anyone else sick.
Right.
But still, like, to me, it's so extreme. And it's so, to me, unnecessary if you had just, like, been thinking of others. It doesn't take much. To me, it's a very A to B problem-solving situation. So it's so frustrating to see. And to see someone putting their own money and saying, like, I'd rather spend $100 or $200 versus shutting down and losing thousands of dollars in a week.
Right.
Which is, like, what she needs. And it's been going through hoops. It's been a very frustrating couple of days.
I want to say hello to Geo Sam. Welcome to the chat. I read what Clover Mom was saying, and the virus, or the vaccination is available to us now. So I signed up right away to be on the lottery for it or whatever, where they'll text me.
I need to do that.
Can I let you down? I'm really hot. So I signed up for that, but the odd thing about it is, I had to drive him to the drugstore the other day, because he was having issues with his car, and so we're sitting in the vehicle, and we got talking about things, and one of the things that I said was, I get frustrated because yes, we're going through a pandemic. No, I am not deadly terrified of this virus or anything. And I did reiterate to him, I'm like, you got to understand, you have asthma, Chayse has asthma, I'm a 40-year-old smoker. Like, if it hits us, it could hit us hard. It could be bad. And I said, and you've been going out a lot. So if it seems like I haven't been happy with you, it's because you go out all the time. Because one of the things he said is, like, I'm always so tired. And I said, well, that's because you get up, you go to work, and then you go out all night until 2-3 in the morning, and then you got to get up at 5-6 o'clock in the morning to go back to work.
Right.
And talked about the coronavirus type thing, and then this happens. So it's kind of like, here's your wake up call, and like I said, there's a lot of things I missed out on in the past year. I'm still sitting at home not working, essentially because of people like my roommate. You look at Minnesota's numbers again, we're climbing. We're going right back up again. And, I'm pretty sure it's going to start to climb pretty steep very quickly. What's up?
Oh, just not to interrupt you, but Angel Gamer says that he got the Walgreens app, and then he got an appointment like within 2 days of signing up.
Nice. So maybe that's what I should do.
Maybe that's what I should do instead of doing the lottery.
Right, because I know they show some locations where they're doing it, and but
Targets are doing it too. Actually,
right. There was a lot of places. It was really bizarre where some of the places that they're doing it. But yeah, it's frustrating, and the fact that Chayse's boss had to offer up paying a hotel for him to stay there so that way he couldn't come home. I was gonna say, I always say they until
excuse me, I'm so sorry.
I know I do it all the time. I try to say they if I don't know.
I know. I think it's a little bit of the drag lingo. I just give someone like a pronoun and I don't think about it, which is really worse because there's so many more they thems that are in drag.
And you guys probably heard me say, go to your mama, because I always Chayse's mama, I'm Papa when it comes to the dogs.
So I apologize, Angel Gamer.
Yeah. That she offered up the hotel for him to stay at because, again, she could lose out on business, lose out on a manager, in the afternoon and stuff like that. And it's that again. That's kind of what my video tomorrow is going to be about. So I don't want to talk too much on my thoughts or opinions as much as just the situation. So tomorrow he will come back home, but the rules and stipulations for him being here is he's got to stay confined to his room. If he comes out to the common areas at all to use the kitchen or use the bathroom, he's got to put his mask on. He cannot be out of the bedroom or conversing with us for longer than 15 minutes, according to CDC guidelines, as far as CDC guidelines. Right, for Chayse to be able to keep working. So there's a lot of rules and things that are going to have to happen with him coming back. And, he seems to be fairly compliant with it all. He understands what's going on. It's not like it's not like he's being an asshole about it. There were some things where it seemed like he was trying to play it off to make it seem not so bad. Like originally when he called, I thought he told me that he was in contact with people that tested for coronavirus Friday night, Saturday night, and Monday.
Yeah.
And he then said, no, I hung out with people who tested positive for coronavirus. They tested positive on Friday, they tested positive on Saturday, and they tested positive on Monday. Which then my comeback is, if they tested positive on Friday, did they know Friday and then still hung out with them and pass it on, or did they get tested Friday and find out the next day? And that's where I kind of almost feel like I caught him in a aha, caught you type moment. Like, you say that they tested positive Friday, Saturday, and Monday. It wasn't that you were hanging out with them Friday, Saturday, and Monday. It's like, then again, if those people knew on Friday that they were positive, why did they even have their asses out there? Why were they even hanging out with people?
Well, it is a weird thing. Like, to me, so like I've lived with a lot of roommates prior to being here, so another roommate situation. And we would tell each other things more as like just like communication. Like, it wasn't because like, that's not mean, but it wasn't because of like, oh, I intimately care about you, so I need to know where you're going. It's more just like, I'm gonna be here. If I don't show up for a while, I either probably went to a friend's place. If I don't show up for the rest of the night, I might be dead, sort of thing.
Right.
And so, like, to me, like, I don't think you have to know everything that they're doing, but it's just really odd because it's like, you say one thing, and then it's like you suddenly spirals into a whole weekend sort of ordeal, and it's like, that's frustrating to me, especially during a pandemic. I would want to know because I'm very clear about what I'm doing when I leave the house. I'm very clear where I went to, what I did, and then when I come back, I take care of what I need to take care of. Like, that's, to me, like, that's just a mature thing, and I have a very, for me, it's really difficult because I try to see the human in everyone, and I try to be very empathetic.
Yeah.
But, like, stuff like this is where it pushes my limit. Because it's like, to me, once more, it is an A to B solution, problem, solution, problem, solution. And it's very simple. And so when it doesn't happen, I get so flustered. I really lose my cool. Because it's like, I think that should not be something that you should have to be walked through. And especially when you start trying to dial it back or tone it down and be like, no, it's not as bad as you think. I want to be like, it's a pandemic, motherfucker. I don't care.
Right.
Like, there's a chance that I could get deadly sick and no one else here could get sick. Right. Or Tanner gets hit badly, but no one else does. Why are you gambling with that chance?
Yeah.
Why are you gambling with all the problems that come after it? And for me also, because some of those asymptomatic people have come back with having like long-term symptoms still. Right. And it's like, what are you going to do now when 6 months down the road you could have like a health issue that you didn't have before?
Yep.
Like, you
thought you were asthmatic before. You like to work out, you like to do this. You thought you were asthmatic before, well, it probably just got 10 times worse.
Why? And so, like, that's things with, like, how people think in general during this whole pandemic thing. It's like, yeah, I get you shouldn't, like, let your world be wrapped with fear. But for God's sakes, like, do you want the flu? Do you want a cold, even? I don't. When someone's sick and they're like, oh, I feel kind of great right now, I'm like, you need to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to be like, shoot, get away. I do actually do that. But I am also going to be like, okay, you need to think about yourself. You need to go take care of yourself. Your job don't need you that much. Where, like, you need to sacrifice yourself. I understand for some people that's a tough pin and like you still have to work because you know the world runs on money. But like if you can, try not doing that, or try to take care of yourself. But like I don't want to get sick. In general, I don't want to get sick.
Yeah.
So I don't want a virus that could have long-term debilitating like effects on me, especially if I already in the past have had health issues for the longest run in my life. I had a lower immune system than average kids. And I would say probably in the last 5 years I've had a much better track record of illness where I usually don't get sick. So I think I maybe kind of get through the buffer, but this could just get right past it. And I'm not trying to risk the rest of my life on you wanting to go and have like a party at your friend's house or at your family member's house over in Wisconsin.
Right.
Or for people like, side note that counts, in our area in Minneapolis, city of Minneapolis, in the uptown region, for anyone knows, there is a place that was called the Egg and I that now shut down, and it's going to rebrand itself. But the way that it is making its money is by like it's $20 entrance, and they throw after parties, they call them, but they go by zero guidelines. There's no masks. Literally, I had my drag mom, or a friend of her, kind of like, oh, like, you know, let's go to this place. It's really cool and calm. People are respectful. She said she went in there, and it was shoulder to shoulder. She couldn't get to the bar. It was no mask. People were going crazy, and like she just wanted to leave. And they're like, well, if you want to re-enter, it's another $20. And it's like, you are doing something that's so illegal, like not illegal, but it's so like you could get shut down and have everything taken from you. Mm-hmm. And you're part of the problem, and all the people in there are part of the problem because they think they need to go get twisted out in public. You want to get drunk in front of someone? Go look in a mirror and get drunk. I don't care. Like, it's not that exciting to go like have drinks. Like, I like, don't get me wrong, I like having a beverage, but my goal when I go out is not to get drunk in front of people, or like find out like what may or may not be the one. But like, it's not that important.
Right. Speaking of which, our roommate is calling me right now. I don't know if I should step away and answer it and you entertain people or not.
You can call him later. He'll
get back later.
What's he doing?
Yeah, he better be sitting in a hotel room. Yeah, you know, I don't want to be, hello, CEO of Saber. I don't want to say, like, you know, you shouldn't go out and do things, period. Just be smart about it, you know?
Right.
Just be freaking smart about it.
Especially when you have to consider other people's feelings in a situation. If I had a roommate who was like, you know, kind of white-knuckling it, I would say, for the first 6 months, let's go with that. They were white-knuckling, they were so afraid. I would work with them and what they were concerned about. Because I would understand that's a realistic fear. Noki, come here.
Grumpy pants.
Yeah.
Come here. Yeah, to me, it's just very selfish when you live with two other people and you know the risks of certain things happening and you still continue to go out all the time. And, you know, that's kind of what I talk about a little bit tomorrow in my video, is that there's a bigger domino effect that happens by someone testing positive than people realize.
Yeah.
And that's what's obnoxious.
And out to the Angel Gamer saying about like their sister-in-law being anti-vax, anti-mask, and then bringing a 3-month-old baby. It's like those are the concerns I see. It's like kind of when I go to grocery stores, I totally get you cannot control a 5-year-old.
Right.
I remember being 5, I was awful. And you see them going out with masks and stuff like that, and I'm like, the scary part I get is like, well, I know you can't always leave a kid at home, but at the same time I'm like, but that kid is, even if he doesn't get sick or she doesn't get sick or they don't get sick, like they're running around touching things. And everything. It's like that's scary. And like once more, I get in situations like the parent can always leave their kid at home. Mm-hmm. They can't always do that. You can't always control a 5-year-old. You can't like constantly watch them when you're trying to also get out of a store in like 30 minutes or less. But it's like, it's a thing. I'm like, God, this is hard because I'm seeing problems left and right, and I feel like I kind of play it loose and free sometimes with the rules, but I'm still really good on it. So when I see stuff like that, I'm like, can we just, like, I don't know, do something other than this? Because this is part of the problem. And we live in to me personally, I live in a country where I see so many people feeling really entitled about the situation. I had a gentleman come into my store at the cafe. He was wearing a face shield, which I'm sorry if anyone likes those. I think they're kind of a crock of bull. But, because that's not how air works. But, like, he had, like, it said, like, it just said FK, but, you know, I was trying to say fuck. It was FK Tim Walls. And I was like, oh, wow. You were just really fighting the big fight here, having your visor say that you hate Tim Walls. You're really sticking it to him.
That's our governor, you know, and I had a friend who has been pissed at our governor, you know, cussing and swearing left and right when the governor shut the state down. And our governor, the reason why he shut it down is because we were spiking really bad, and he shut it down in time because we did spike. We spiked pretty bad.
Yeah.
And the quote unquote, I'll call him more of an acquaintance, got so mad at Tim Walls for shutting it down, and you know, because it meant restaurants are closed and he's a server, and what's he gonna do for a job and blah 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 blah. Meantime, he had been positive for coronavirus already. Like he already went through the coronavirus, and now he's mad that the governor is shutting the state down to try to keep other people from spreading it. It's like, this is bigger than you, dude. Think of like all the, you know, medical people, staff that are working that, you know, have to deal with this day in and day out. Like, they don't want to be overwhelmed, so that's why we shut the state down. If you didn't want it shut down, maybe you shouldn't have been doing all the things that made you get coronavirus in the first place.
I remember who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing they got dental work done while they were supposed to be quarantined. And I was like, you're garbage.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't help but get a tooth cleaning.
Yeah.
If you had to get a root canal, you can put that baby off for a few more days. I had a root canal done. You'll survive.
Right.
They'll get over it. I
yeah,
like Tina.
I know. Maybe he's watching the stream. He doesn't watch these streams. It's like he likes to watch drama streams of like makeup artists and stuff like that. And
for the person I am, frankly, if he was, I'll tell you in person, so I'm not afraid to say it.
Right.
Because it's frustrating to where, like, I remember, like, when he sent the message, I remember I was here with anger, and I said, if this affects everything that I was planning on doing in a couple of weeks, that would be job-related, I'm gonna freak.
Right.
And at this point, I would never be someone to say you should yell at people just how you feel, but I'm, like, justified.
Yeah. And then I also wouldn't, if he saw the stream was going, he wouldn't call during it. You know, he probably would. He would know better to. He would send a text or something like that.
And interesting. Like Glover Mom talking about the California is under a mask mandate till June 15th. I had a friend who went out to California a couple weeks back, and her home's in Texas. So over spring break, she went to Texas. Not spring break, winter break, she went to Texas, back home. And she said it was really interesting in Texas and how, like, you know, just people, it was very free willy, people doing what they want.
Right.
And she's over in California. If you were outside even and you weren't wearing a mask, people were glaring you down. People were like steering clear of you. And I was like, it's fascinating to see.
Yeah. I think we're still under our mandate, right? I don't think it's by.
We're not lifted on anything.
Right. Okay.
There's been talks. So I don't want to say. So I'll say allegedly. I learned from Kathy Griffin. That's a fantastic word to say to protect yourself. Allegedly, there's talks about with people being vaccinated that over Easter break, people who are vaccinated are allowed to gather mask free. I heard there's a chance that places that can gather up to 1,500 people coming this summer may open back up. If it's freestanding, it can't be seated.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that means or who that all works towards. So, like, I don't know if that's even remotely true. I just keep seeing like it cycled by multiple news articles, which also not a great source.
Right.
Not a great source. I just keep hearing it talked about.
I agree with Saber is people are selfish. You know, the thing is, Americans especially are beyond selfish. You know, that they can't think beyond themselves. They want their stuff. They want to do it this way. You know, watching who? Oh no, I watched it. It wasn't a content creator who did it, but it was this lady was getting interviewed saying that like all people who wear masks and news people are Satan worshippers or they're satanic because of it, and you know she was getting all huffy puffy, and it's just like this again. This is bigger than you, lady. Like you know you like that Trader Joe's. Okay, go in without your mask, but now if all those employees get sick because of you and that Trader Joe's has to close,
you gonna take care of them,
right?
You gonna go pay those bills?
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
not.
No,
I guarantee you're not.
Right.
It's. I would say at this point in time, like I also had a lady come in at my coffee shop, and she was wearing a mask, but the mask was made of like mesh. No screening or anything, just mesh. And I sat there and I stared at her. I didn't stare at her lips because I want her. Not that I didn't want to acknowledge the mask she was wearing, but it's more so like, oh, I know you're doing that stupid thing. There's a couple routes you're going. You're either saying, I need people to see my face or else you can't tell I communicate. Try harder at communicating if you think it's hard. But then I'm going to just look you in the eye because I want you to know that like I'm seeing you and I know how much of an idiot you are. And I want you to like ask me something dumb so that I can ask you what you think that mask is doing for you.
Yeah.
Because I sit here and like, you're coming to a coffee shop, which we allow, and our standard is that like all you have to do is entering the building, you wear a mask. You're up at the counter, you wear a mask. As soon as you sit down, if you're actively eating and drinking, the mask can come off.
Mm-hmm.
And we're a small shop, which to me is a little sketchy still. But then also just working around those guidelines, I'm like, you literally have 40 feet max to travel and walking, and you can't wear a mask for 10 minutes.
Right.
This isn't even the grocery store where you may spend 30 minutes shopping to an hour. Like, this is a coffee shop. You're getting a latte. It's going to be in your hand in 2 minutes. How? And I might even bring it up to you. Why can you not wear a mask for literally that long?
Yeah.
Also, get coffee. It ain't that important. As someone who can no longer drink coffee and thinks and dreams of coffee every single day. That's like, to me, like that just is the epitome of like the United States.
Yes, 100%. You know, there's so much on the topic. Like, I'm ready to be back to work and stuff like that. And this is, places are spiking again. And you know, cool that we're getting vaccines and stuff like that.
Love to see it.
Doesn't stop you from, you know, still needing to do what you need to do, and especially with the highly contagious variants that are out there now and stuff like that.
I like what Dr. Osiris said. So how it's funny that in the UK we know more about the United States,
right,
and what's going on there. I feel like because we're like the Real Housewives where no one wants to live their life.
Right.
And you're like, how awful and trashy. But then you're kind of like, how awful.
We're the reality show that the rest of the world watches and says, oh, so glad that's not my life. And also, so glad I'm not that crazy.
And also kind of going, God, I hope they're all right.
Right.
It's so awful.
So Dr. Osiris has a question for you.
Yeah. How many Karens have I had to deal with? Do you know what's really funny is that I would say the demographic in our area, the women tend to be a little more passive, or they really stray from like trying to make eye contact, or like when it comes to asking directive questions, even to the point where they're like, I need this, and I'm like, okay, but what are you ordering? Like, what's your size? What is the beverage? Because you're not saying it right, or I'm asking just a deeper question, and that seems to throw them off a lot, which kind of makes me go, oh, I'm sad that that's your reaction.
We are Honey Boo Boo of the world.
Sorry. We are. That was a dumpster fire. It's the men. Mediocre white men. You know, not all white men are like this. I'm not saying it to mean that, but like mediocre white men who are probably 40, late 30s to 50s. your age range. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I don't care. It's true. There's. I know how terrible us white men can be.
They walk in thinking that they own the place and they got the joint and they're going on. And I'm like, okay, calm down. It's a coffee shop. And then like I had a guy come up to me and he is. I know him. I know because he's told me his life story. Because they love telling you their life story. Where he was like, he's retired, nicely secure in his retirement, is a leather worker for art. He does just like really cool stuff. He's showing me it, so it's like really saddening when he started opening his mouth. He just like has really strong opinions. First, when he came in, he told me, he's like, "Oh, it's so great with this mask thing. You can never tell a girl's ugly now." And I said, "Oh, for God's sakes, no one wants you. You're married and you're in your 60s. Okay, get out."
Wow.
And he literally coming for a latte. And I also, problem with him too is that he's really bad at hearing, so they yell at him. I deal with this guy often. And then he came in the other day and he was like, "How are you faring in your socialist regime that we're living in currently?" And I said, "I'm here still. Right. I'm doing fine." Because I was like, I'm not here to discuss this with you because I have varying opinions about things that are happening, but also I know exactly what you're asking for and what you're wanting, and I don't agree with you, but I'm also not going to get into a stupid argument with you because you're coming here for coffee.
Right. Hello, real quick to Tony Eugene.
Hi.
But the other thing though too with that is like, how are you faring? Has your life changed so much since the new president? Are you hurting that bad?
It's like you're still coming in here buying a coffee when you don't need to.
Yeah.
You've told me plenty about how you don't need to come here, but you do it as a treat, so I don't really think you're suffering too much.
No, his life changed because, transgender people are allowed in the military again. And so now it made him think about transgender people. And so that's how it's affected his life, is he had to think about something.
Right. I'm not thinking about them and their hearts and them as beings. I have to think about their genitals. And it's like, you're gross. Gross person for having to go in that platform.
Right.
I've had other guys who just I had a guy who literally went and sat down, and I brought it to the end of the counter. I was like, "Oh, here's your latte," and he goes, "Oh, I'm right here." I was like, "Yeah, it's done," because I was like, "Excuse you, you could." I'm someone where I will walk someone out. I'll bring them their coffee. I'll talk to them. I'll ask them about their day. But this guy literally takes a little sticker cover that we use for the coffee. He puts it on our iPads that we use for checking people out. He sticks it on there, and I'm like, "Are you 5? That's not where a sticker goes."
Right.
And then one thing was really odd. He was going to the massage therapist that's next to us. He's going to go bring her this beverage. But he's drinking it. Which I'm like, disgusting.
Yeah.
That's disgusting in general. And then also, once more, in a pandemic where it's transferred by airborne particles and liquids. And I'm like, and you're drinking her drink that you bought for her. You're gross.
Right.
And I cannot get over that, and like how like the varying men's attitudes that come through a store. And they're just kind of like, "Oh, I don't care." I do get a few women who come in and they'll just like act like they don't know a pandemic's happening and they're not wearing a mask, and they're just like, "Oh my God, what's going on? Hi, how are you?" And I'm like,
"Bitch, put on your mask.
Do you see what I'm wearing?
Right.
Do you see what everyone else in the store is having to do?" And like you have to tell them, and they'll try to be like, "Oh no, thank you," and then I'd be like, "Well, no, thank you then."
Right.
And they seem so like frazzled and like cannot fathom this kind of like interjection in their life.
The other funny thing about it too is like they're like, "It's my rights. You can't discriminate against me." They'll be the ones who will argue like, "We shouldn't have to serve like LGBTQ people," but it's discrimination if you don't serve me. What they don't understand the difference between this is that masks are for everyone. Everyone does it. So there is no discrimination. Right. There's not a discrimination against you because of your color, your race, your ethnicity, your sexual orientation. Whereas with denying someone who's LGBTQ or even someone who's black or Native American or whatever, denying them something,
income,
right?
even?
Denying them something is literally because of something that they cannot choose to do. It's an orientation or a race or a creed, whatever it is.
Gender,
whereas a mask
gender.
that covers everyone. And so no, they are not discriminating against you.
Sorry, it's it's killing me right now.
Something tells me that guy thinks about transgender people far more. Yeah, I saw that part. That's great.
Obviously, someone's watching all that porn, and it's not just me.
That's awesome. The real epidemic is the stupid. It seems to be spreading at an exactly, and that's why my unpopular opinion on Johnny O's channel like 3 weeks ago was that, you know, we shouldn't allow anyone to put everything out that they want to put on the internet. You know, YouTube or Facebook or whatever, they should have every right to shut that down in the quickness, knowing it could potentially lead to harm.
Right, and it's something like that where I think about like education and stuff like that, and people doing their own research. She was a regular. I cannot remember her name. I'm not going to put her name out there, anyways. But she was a regular. She kind of seemed erratic as a person. But she was college educated. She was a chemist for about 20 years. And then she retired because I think she had some health issues. But she kind of got into like oils and natural medicines. I'm not going to hate anyone for Western and Eastern medicines. We're not going to get too into that. But she literally comes to the drive-thru one day and she goes, you're caught up in that whole mask thing. And I wanted to like look at her and I said, I don't really care what you think about. This is about like if someone like, and I'm not gonna say because I care about like what's happening and I believe in science, but if we get called on by someone to like that are like the people who run like who health inspectors, they can shut us down, and then everyone else here out of a job, and then like my boss, she got a loan assistance from the county for COVID. If she gets shut down, she owes it all back. And so when people say stuff like that, or people don't want to like do that, that's the first thing I throw out to them. I'm like, I don't really care what you believe in, but if you want to get us shut down, you're screwing all of us out, and you're making our boss lose so much money that she's put into here in the first place, and then also making her pay back a 10 grand loan, on the spot, or else she'll get in trouble too. It's like that pisses me off so much, because it's like, I don't care if you believe in COVID or not. I don't care if you think that you can like put vitamin D up your butt and you're going to be safe. I don't really care if you're eating all the greens in the world. It's about a mandate that affects people on an economic scale, and especially small businesses. Especially when you come jogging in here being like, oh, I support small businesses. I'm like, the hell you do?
Right.
Not when you're pulling game like that. That's frustrating to me. And before I forget, we're talking about like frustrating things and the people excuses they make. To me, I think it's insane when people talk about like, oh, I have a disability, I can't. And not to derail anyone who deals with anxiety, depression. I know my dad personally, where he wears the mask for more than an hour and a half, he starts sweating and he gets hyperventilating, and I think just dealing with a little PTSD and just his own like things going on because he has some mental health issues as well. But he still wears it when he needs to and when it's appropriate. And it's very, to me, it's like that's such a spit in the face for people who are differently abled physically and non-showing disabilities.
Right.
It's such a spit in the face for how much they've literally had to fight for like ever.
That's the
even
big thing.
now,
Yeah, getting the fight
now,
to get any of those rights or any of that stuff.
Like if you're on disability, you can't. If you get married to your partner, like your financial assistance gets affected by that because suddenly that person can take care of you and themselves financially. That's not how that works. Right. Varying abilities for things that for people who can get assistance medically to be able to help them pay their bills, because it's not cheap being differently abled, especially when you live in a world that is built for a singular function for very certain types of people. You know, it's like it's so tasking in general to have a disability or to be differently abled or to have a mental disability. And then you got freaking people out here who can scream at the top of their lungs about how it It's my right. I have a disability. It's like you are taking advantage, grossly taking advantage, manipulating, and lying about a situation for about a stupid small thing like wearing a mask for people who live this real life without the pandemic, who live a real life every single day, having to work around the disadvantages that they're facing because of their different abled bodies, and the things that are not inherently being assisted with them. I'm not saying everything needs to be given and getting into that, but like, God, we don't have a very giving world, and then you have someone on top of it who's taking from people who are not being given a lot and manipulating it. That is disgusting to me. And so, like, to me, in my mind, if someone asked me or stated to me, like in my shop, they're like, "Oh no, I have a disability," I would clock out in front of them. I would take my apron off. I'd be like, "I'm not on the clock now. What's your disability?
Right.
What is it?" Because I got asthma, I have high anxiety, I have PTSD. What you got? What's your problem? I'm working in this mask 6 hours a day plus.
Yep.
Every day.
And the thing too is it's just like, you know, if you have that issue, if you have a medical exemption or you claim that, then go through the drive-through or call up ahead of time and say, "Hey, I would like to get this, but my medical exemption says that, you know, I shouldn't be wearing a mask. Can you carry it out to my car?"
Yeah, I will do that in a heartbeat.
Right.
But like, it's kind of like Dr. Chayse say. It's like they have the physical and mental health issues, and they barely left their home in over 8 years. Once more, not pandemic, just because of the predicaments that you have, and you know you're gladly still there, saying like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make my accommodations to be able to work around what's happening." You have put so much more flexibility alone wearing a mask than these people do to wear their mask to get a freaking cup of coffee or get their hair cut.
Right.
And it's so annoying. It's my blood's boiling.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say you've been talking a lot. But that's good, you know, because sometimes you don't talk very much on the stream, and
well, it's the thing.
you deal with it more than what I've been dealing with it over the year because I've been here at home, and that's the other thing is like I've been sitting at home.
Yeah.
I've been sitting here, like, trying to find things to do, building the rockets, doing the computer stuff, started doing YouTube stuff, getting in with the drone stuff.
Cleaning,
find a hobby to do. You know, why do you have to be out every single night of the week?
You don't.
You know?
You don't have to. You don't have that even without COVID.
Would I like to be out? I sure as hell would love to be out. I sure as hell would love to be doing things. Now that it's nicer, we will go out. But it's going to be like where we're going to parks, right, outside, where we're not around people to shoot off rockets, fly drones, hike trails, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, and it's I wouldn't be in this position where I'm still sitting here a year later if it wasn't for these people.
Right. And you feel like when, like, you know, for a bit, like, I was feeling cool and confident. I'm like, okay, we got this. We have a good rhythm. But the little moment like this, a little blip, not even a blip. It's not a blip because that's incidental. This was something not thinking and choosing to think about themselves only. And how that quickly affects and changes everything. And, like, they're not on a ventilator. It's still just as important to take it seriously.
Right.
Because you don't know who will be on a ventilator. You don't know whose parents you're calling next, you know? And that's why it's like, it's not about fear. It's about being rational. And that's just, thank you for wearing a mask in drive-thru. Some people do and don't. I'm like, I'm not, but thank you, because it's something where it's a courtesy in my mind, because it's at least telling me that you're thinking of me while I'm thinking of you. And it's like, it gets exhausting. And especially because, like, this isn't the main career I wanted to have. I don't want to, like, I love the place I work for because I love being able to see my efforts become fruitful and bountiful in someone else's endeavors in their dream. It's not like working for a corporation for me, and I really love seeing that. I've been very, like, dedicated to this shop that I work for. But it's not my dream.
Yeah.
My dream is to be a drag queen where I get to travel. I'm working, like, I would say probably, like, 4 or 5 nights, maybe a week. I don't know. I'm not going to limit to what happens. I'm working on projects with people. I'm creating art. I get to maybe, like, talk to kids. I get to do, like, library reads. I get to be able to do speeches and stuff like that, because that's the kind of world that is becoming accessible for queer artistry now, which is incredible. I was really excited to be free. I talked at a school I went and did like where me and several other drag queens, we hung around at a party that was premiering a yogurt brand that was like these two people literally creating their own like food brand that was like vegan and everything. And we got hired to be personalities there. I was looking forward to doing stuff that was on stage and off the stage, but because of stuff like this, like I can't.
Right.
They can't even like do their thing that they want to do.
Well, and that's the thing too, is you potentially could have missed out on doing a show a week and a half from now.
Yeah.
Finally a live show because of our roommate doing what he did, and that would have tore you apart to not be able to do a live show because you've been dying to do a live show and forever.
I've been waiting, playing safe, and trying to do the right thing so I can go and get back to it and entertain people, make them forget about the parts that they're having a hard time with. Do it in the most COVID-friendly style too. And it's like, and stuff like this. It's like, it literally just takes one person. And it's like, I just wish people would just think outside their little box for 5 minutes a day. It would literally probably open their eyes.
Hey, shush.
Come here. And so, like, it's crazy. I'm sorry. I do always apologize when I rant about COVID stuff because I know many people are dealing so much personal, like, turmoils with it that, like, it's kind of one thing where it's like you can get into a rant and be like, yeah, you understand me, but also at the same time you're like, yeah, this brings up a lot of my own problems. So I don't want to completely just be damning it all and telling you guys my issues. So I appreciate everyone listening. Right. It's just something I've been so frustrated with.
That's awesome, Angel Gamer, about the sewing machine. You know, learning how to do it and how to make masks and stuff like that. But a nice
my God.
one. That's those things. Like, old equipment runs forever.
Yes, it does.
I think I might put on Flight Simulator quick.
Do it.
I might flight sim. I haven't flown in a long time, and I'm trying to like slowly get back into flying because my pilot's license is lapsed. So, oh, look at that! There's an airplane here. Let's go. There. What's cool about it is it actually shows like real life airplanes flying, and whatnot. But so if I'm crappy at it, it's because I haven't flown in forever. I let my license lapse, but I've been enjoying it. But we can keep chatting. But yeah, people, it's just getting old.
It's getting old real fast.
Yeah, and hopefully now we can, you know, when we go get tested this weekend, I'm sure we'll be more than okay because our interaction with him has been more than limited. So yeah, we'll see how it all goes. What?
I'm just like, I'm cooling down. I'm coming down.
Yeah,
well,
it's good because I know you've been wanting to say a lot and talk a lot about it lately.
As I said,
so I get it.
It's things where it's like I would prefer to tell the person, and that's why it's also very flustering for me because I can't just be like, here's what I'm saying and feeling, and I need you to understand and feel it. But like, you know, because of course they're quarantining and they're gonna come back here, and I'm not gonna stand at their door and yell at them. That's awful.
Right.
It just it's so frustrating when you put things when you feel like it's going towards a wall. And I'm sure many people feel that currently, if not other times.
Dad's been wanting a flight sim. I want to get him one for Father's Day. I got this. I thought I changed the day. Yeah. Although I did love flying at night. I used to fly at night all the time.
Oh my God, those gorgeous stars in the sky.
Yeah.
That makes me miss being like back at home.
When I did fly, I would fly at night all the time because that was my relaxation time. The winds are super calm and less traffic in the air as well. So that's kind of why I liked flying at night a lot. But Flight Sim at Target.com was $10 cheaper for the basic one. I think it was like what $49.99. I think is what I said, and it's normally $59.99 for the basic one. And I've had this yoke and rudder pedals since like 2007 or something like that. I bought it way long time ago, and surprisingly, it still works with all the system, and I got it all figured out. The only thing I don't like about this flight sim is I am used to a 6-pack on an airplane and not touchscreen. or not a touchscreen, you know, I don't know what you call it, a glass screen. You know, I'm used to, you see kind of in the middle, there's that blue and brown section that's, you know, your artificial horizon and stuff like that. I'm used to things like that. I'm used to the altimeter, the artificial horizon, your heading indicator and all that. So it's still getting a little used to, figuring, I don't want to say it's not hard to figure out, but I'm used to analog stuff. And so it's very weird to like have to go through and do this stuff. So I'm going to just do a quick pattern flight. I'm not going to do a hell of a lot.
Well,
but,
Angel Gamer, you are talking to an old man.
Yes.
Is it easy?
No.
Is it easy to learn?
Landing obviously is the hardest thing about flying. But everything else is fairly easy. You know, you steer with your feet. You don't steer with the yoke when you're on the ground. That is. Oh, there was a shooting star. You missed it.
Oh my god,
that was kind of cool.
That's cool.
So it's not that hard. It's pretty close to real life. Some of the feel of the yoke for me is a little off to real life, and so that's the only thing I could say is it seems a little sensitive and touchy. Like right now, it's super touchy, and I have no clue why. And I should not have to do small, tiny movements like this. I should be able to do bigger movements without it being all over the place. That's not bad. It's all right. At least for my yoke system. I gotta mess around with a bunch of the settings still. And yeah. But
wow. Sorry, that's cool.
Are you
that's
enamored
cool.
with what
I
you're seeing?
am. I think it's gorgeous.
Let's look over the. So I'm flying currently in a place that Chayse and I have hiked. If you guys go look at some of my drone videos, there's a place called Red Wing in the drone videos, and that's where I am currently flying right now in the flight sim. And so let's see. They don't have the position. I would be turning. I'd be turning left crosswind. For where the airport is, but they don't have. It doesn't look well unless I would scan more, but it doesn't look like they have that option. There's the runway. All right, let's go back. We don't need to keep our speed going up. You can talk while I'm doing this.
I'm sorry, I was getting very distracted.
Yeah.
I also haven't flown in a plane so long. I'm like,
so now I'd be turning downwind. Let's see if they don't have downwind on here. So, but we can announce our position real quick. Rudder pedals are kind of touchy on this as well.
They have a giant boot in Red Wing?
A giant boot.
What?
Oh, that's because that's where Red Wing boots are made.
But where's the boot?
I don't know where the boot would be.
Where's the boot, Angel Gamer? Where is it? That's okay, Tony Regime. Welcome back.
Hello.
It's internet reset.
Yeah.
Exciting for me.
There we go.
Other small news. I bought 2 new games.
Yes, you did. Let them know. I'm sure Tony
exciting.
would be interested to know what games you got.
I bought God of War for the PS4. And then I also got Does anyone else have a Nintendo Switch?
What? Does anyone have a Nintendo Switch?
Does anyone have a Nintendo Snitch?
That's awesome.
I don't. I like them though. I want to play Bayonetta 2. That's one of the real main reasons I want to get the Switch, but it's not enough to go buy one.
No.
And then I also bought Dark Souls 3. I have not played Dark Souls. I've watched playthroughs. I had a friend who's played like Dark Souls 3. They did it on Twitch for the longest time. They get dressed up in drag and they would play it. All I know is I hear you die a lot. And like that's just the biggest deal. So like
I want to play it. It looks really cool. But I've been so in love with playing the God of War game. It's the one him like with his son now, Atreus, and they're like it's all Nordic mythology. I love Nordic mythology.
There's an airplane up there.
Oh, hello, airplane.
I was blinking in the upper left.
Hi. So I'm very excited about it. Yes, it is the God of War with his son. It's super cool, super fun. How the mechanics of the gameplay, I feel like it's more manual control of the character. You don't jump, but like in this one, you don't really need to. Yeah, see, that's why I hear a lot of Toruju is that you have to die a lot in Dark Souls. And I don't know, I feel like I die a lot in my other games.
Yes and no.
I miss my PS4 and TV died before my birthday. Oh, I can't replace this.
Why don't they have base? Oh, there we go.
Just waiting for
Base.
to drop it off. Well, I hope they have. Where am I right now? I cannot remember where I got to in the game because I can't remember the name.
I don't know where you're at in the game.
I'm trying to remember the name. I think I'm in Valheim right now. I just I got to the light tower, and I'm running around, and I was running around in that temple.
Ooh, I'm high. I'm really high.
Tony Regime has a question for you.
Yes.
This is a new Microsoft Flight Sim.
Yes, this is FS20, 2020. Like I said, I'm some of the things I'm getting a little used to. I liked flying Flight Sim 10 a little more than this. Obviously, this has way better graphics. Oops, I better start my turn. I'm talking too much. Start my turn. Let's do a sharp turn over there. Yep, I overshot it because I was too busy talking. I do like Flight Sim. Wow, I'm really high. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much while I was trying to do this right. It seems like the controls are a little bit better. This just seems a little too finicky sometimes. And but the graphics are amazing. I love the ATC interaction. And it's fairly realistic as far as a lot of things. I just got to dial in the yoke better. I think then I would like this a lot more once I figured that out. But I'd highly recommend it to anyone if they're interested in this. Ooh. So let's do some daylight.
Oh my gosh, you must have that machine that controls the weather.
Yes,
I knew it was real.
It's me.
33.
Yep, I'm part of all this. So let's raise the flaps. Let's go back around again. And that way you guys can see this area. I don't need to slow down. I'm taking off again. Yeah. So
yeah, you let them have it.
Yeah. Don't tell me what to do. You're not my co-pilot. Oh wait, yes you are.
Oh, I've I've seen the title for Valheim for that Norse survival craft game. I have not played it because it's not that I think those games are incredible. I don't think I'm a smart enough player for those games. And I mean that with thinking that I think I'm an intelligent enough person, but I don't know if it keeps my attention enough.
Yeah. What the hell is that thing supposed to be?
Go find out.
Way over by the right?
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
I don't know.
That's not here in Minnesota or Wisconsin. We don't have a random big old spike like that.
In Minnesota COVID, we do.
In Minnesota COVID?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we got spikes left and right. I used to be a big Xbox 360 fan, specifically for the Bayonetta game, and there was a game called Too Human, if anyone's heard. It's also a Norse-based video game made by a small company. I think they went under. I can't remember. But they are self-funded, so it takes them forever to put out a game. And I love that game, and that it was weird to play, but I love it. I love a good Norse story.
So, let's see. Let's go fly over Barn Bluff, where most of our drone videos are taken.
I love Barn Bluff.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous place.
I just gotta figure out the roads here. But yeah, so if you were to go, don't do it now. I mean, we're live streaming. Don't be doing it now. But if you go, if you go and look up some of my drone videos, I have one that I did for Thursdays, which we don't call it that anymore. What is it called, Glober Mom? If you're still here, I think it's called the Premiere Thursdays. There's Barn Bluff right there. That's what we've hiked up, and so one of the videos, it's the fall Minnesota fall colors. See, look, there's the bluff does not do that to the far left.
That game is
Yeah.
your game is having a time.
So this spot that I'm flying over right now, if you go to my Minnesota fall drone footage, you see there's a spot where I'm flying over that. So this is fairly accurate, fairly accurate as far as them uploading maps and stuff like that, but not accurate as far as that big old spike that was up in the air.
That was hilarious.
That was a little weird.
Maybe it really is there,
Yeah.
and we're just wild paradox. We're not seeing it.
So maybe not. But this is kind of cool. This is just
you got
like
the
what
name
we
right.
see.
Premiere Thursday.
Premiere Thursday. Cool. So yes, that's what we are naming it now. And I did a compilation video there, but otherwise I do have just the regular one. That was, like I said, titled what I said. But yeah, this is pretty cool. When you look down, that's pretty much what you see off to kind of like the right. It looks like it almost leads to an ocean. In the video, it's very odd because it looks like it leads to a big old ocean, and it doesn't.
It's fascinating. I love that area when you're up on top of those bluffs. Like,
yeah.
Just how like the rivers and how the waterways are set up. It's so cool. And also, I think that town is so cute.
Yeah. The other thing I could say about this game that I'm not sure I'm 100% great with. So if you notice, I'm not touching the controls, and you see it buffeting a lot. And I have it set to no wind. And even if it's windy, I mean, you will buff it like this, but I feel like this is buffeting way more than what I'm used to in real life. I actually have video of me flying on YouTube as well. One where I got my, when I first did a solo, but then the other thing too, I'm doing a pattern flight at one of the airports here. It just says Air Lake Pattern Flight. And I do kind of like what I did with the nighttime on here. And it's fun to see, but you notice it doesn't buff it nearly as much as what you see on screen right now, which is a little bizarre. So
tell the truth. That's what's
yeah,
really going on.
It's not this bumpy in the air. I mean, it can be spring days. It can get really bumpy because when you fly over a black like farm field, all the thermals coming off of it bumps up the airplane quite a bit. And same with skydiving too. When we're flying our canopies, a lot of the thermals will make it rough. So springtime, with all the fields being plowed and nothing growing yet, it will be kind of like that. Oops, I'm a little bit there. So let's drop down, and we're gonna decrease our speed. I'm really high. I just kind of decided to, kind of land all of a sudden.
I just want to go here. These trees, they'll catch me. That's good.
Yeah. Airspeed too high. That's why I started lowering the flaps. What is with those spikes? The Barn Bluff is not like that. There are not spikes like that on Barn Bluff.
Maybe we're so much more in shape than we thought. Maybe that's really what it is.
Yeah, we really climbed up like that.
Yeah, we just like hands and knees. Just grab
There
rocks.
we go. There we go. Now we're getting in. So there's 4 white lights. One just turned red. They should be 2 white and 2 red, and that's how you know you're on the glide slope. So now I'm getting low, so I'm going to power up to gain altitude rather than pull back, because when you're landing, your yoke is for speed and your throttle is for altitude. So there we go. So I'm going to cut the throttle back, start gliding in, pull back on the yoke, create some drag, flare, let it hit the 2 tires. Boom. Nice landing.
And that's how you have sex.
And use the rudder. There you go. And then you hit the toes, you tap the toes, and that's what slows us down. Release the toes. I think it would be easier to drive a car with like rudder pedals like this versus a steering wheel. Yeah, we'll add some brakes. Rudder. Oops. too fast. Hit the toe. That's the other thing too, is I notice when I do the toe brakes to do a really sharp turn, it almost stops me. Whereas in real life, if I have the power up a little bit and I tap the toe brake, I can do a nice sharp turn. Sometimes in this one, I have to have the throttle almost 100% with a little bit of toe brake and it'll go. But otherwise, like if I do all toe brake with very little throttle, it will stop me dead. And that's not how it is in real life either. You know, I should be able to add some toe brake right now with some rudder and do a nice sharp turn, but it stopped me. And I don't know why it does that. So then I have to put everything back to neutral and see like I'm adding a little bit of toe brake and it's pretty much stopping me until I put everything back to neutral. So it's almost like I have to use strictly the rudder pedals without the toe brake. That's one other thing that kind of frustrates me a little bit about this. I don't know if you want to call it a game, but about this flight simulator. So
these simulator games are really fascinating to me because I wonder if like it really is just what it says. It's like there's Goat Simulator. There's Goat Simulator. I think there's like an octopus simulation one. There's Farm Simulator, and I'm like, is this really? Are they really just like actual simulators, or something weird's gonna happen? Maybe I'm just hoping something weird happens, like Goat Simulator. Maybe get like one with like a third eye or something. It just comes out with a couple extra horns.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the other weird thing about this is, for whatever reason, the taxiway lights are on the taxiway. Why? Why Flight Sim? Why are the taxiway lights on the taxiway? I don't think I taxied all the way down to the end of the runway. I was going to take off the other way. But those spikes are driving me nuts. Why are they there? What are people saying?
They have someone says, I have an auto mechanic simulator. Are you just an auto mechanic? Like, what happens in an auto mechanic simulator? They've been talking a little bit about Xbox One.
Maybe you simulate being a mechanic and trying to find like cars to work on and a job and partners and stuff like that. And maybe it's like The Sims. Yeah,
I was like, it sounds like The Sims to me.
Gain clearance from ATC to receive assistance. Well, there's no ATC at Red Wing for one, so why would I contact air traffic control here? But I'm gonna just kind of now fly around, and yeah, neat.
Yeah, you better let him have it. You better tell this game.
I have actually landed at this airport though in real life, and it's beautiful.
Car fixie stuff.
Thank God.
Thank God for the car fixie stuff.
You want to work on my car in the car simulator? Tell me what's up with it. Oh my goodness.
But it's telling me about traffic. That's pretty neat. Well, that's pretty neat. Oh, I miss flying so much. This was so fun. You know what was funny too is like when it was a nice day, like say what's going on in the actual simulator right now, is I would look down and see boats on the river and on the lakes, and I'd be like, oh man, it'd be so nice to be out on the boat today and whatnot. Oh, the flap should have been already up. Oh, I'll extend them for landing. No shit, I didn't land though. I took off. But I would look down at the boats and I'd be like, oh man, it would be such a pretty day to be, down on the boat, whatnot. Those lucky people. And in the meantime, I'm like, there's probably people on the boat looking up at the airplane like, man, it would be so beautiful to just be flying outside right now today, to just be tootling around in the air and having some fun with it. And it's like, it's all about perspective, It's interesting.
You're kidding me? On the boat, it's colder out in the lake. Up in here, don't have to care about anything.
Up in here. Y'all gonna make me go all out.
You get custom. Played a lot of Sims.
I want to see if you can crash into that.
Oh my god. Right, Dad used to be a mechanic, but his body gave out with him. Oh, mechanic simulator wouldn't be very realistic without the skinned knuckles.
Right.
What? I don't know.
Skinning your knuckles all the time.
Does that happen a lot?
Oh god, yeah. At least for me, I'm
really
not
in touch with the world.
I'm not a great mechanic, but then a lot of the stuff that I was dealing with was like rusted on, and so then oh shit.
Oh, okay. So
Kind of like when I was working on the computer and I was like, there's a lot of sharp edges in the case and stuff like that. And
yeah,
that's so
I have
weird.
not known a lot about car mechanic stuff. But back in my hometown, we were busting up rocks. We were a caveman, you see, and that's just how we lived life.
Caveman. I'm trying to see what did you click.
You're missing your clip. Why don't you hit it?
Yeah, so there's Barn Bluff. Neat.
It's the Barn Bluff.
It looks like the road is like grass too.
Yeah, it's
That's
very
funky.
green down there.
It's alright, I got the light in the way so I can't see what I'm trying to click on.
Is this what they really be doing in these flight seats?
Yeah, I'm doing that.
They're checking things out. Also, if you hear any creaking, it's the chair, not me.
No, it's him. He's gassy.
Nope, I'm young and youthful.
Gassy. Yeah.
I'm full of it.
No, my chair is creaking. Ah, man, I miss flying. And just like sit back like this and just enjoy the scenery.
Oh my god, your dad poked a screwdriver in his eye while using it as a pry bar?
No! That sounds horrendous.
When I went home this last time, my dad was like pushing he was using a table saw. And he was using like a little like wood stick essentially to be like the push stick to go through it so your fingers aren't getting close. And it ended up getting caught on something, and a chip of wood came back and it skinned off the top of his thumb and took off like a third of his nail.
Ugh.
Yeah, I had to help him change the bandage.
Gross.
Yeah, the amount of times my dad has almost lost a finger. He almost lost his thumb. But like I remember like we were talking about it later, it was like I remember he would just come out from the garage from working and he would just have duct tape on one of his fingers, and that's how we just knew that it almost went down.
Right.
Thank God in my hometown, literally the hospital is like 5 blocks down.
I showed Chase the photos of when my toenail got ripped up by a
Disgusting.
Like,
Do
solid,
not show
solid,
people that.
solid wood TV stand that my brother-in-law and I were moving off of a U-Haul when my dad passed away, and I was stupid and I was wearing flip-flops, but I told him I was like, it had casters on the bottom so we could roll it, and I was on the bottom end, and I said, all right, let's start leveling it out. I'm gonna grab it in different spots so that way we could just roll it on the casters and whatnot. And so he goes, okay. So I start to kind of like adjust to move, thinking like he's saying, okay, I got it, like it's good for you to adjust now. And it slid down a bit and it went underneath my big toenail, pried it straight up. I went, ow, stop. My sister looked down and goes, oh my God! And I look down and I see my toenail pointing straight up. So my first instinct was to push my toenail back down onto the bed of my toe.
Oh my God.
And to get her to stop from, okay, there we go. I want Air Lake. Fuck. That's not what I wanted. Yes.
This is not what I wanted.
No, so let's keep her from screaming. That's what I did. And then it eventually just fell off, and so I showed Chase the photos of with it pried up, and then I showed him photos when it was actually fell off, and then as the toenail was starting to make its comeback.
Yeah, no, I'm not into that. I watched that happen with my mom. One day her toenails popped off, just started rotting off.
That's so weird.
It is weird. I feel like something happened that she didn't explain, but she wasn't explaining that part. That's disgusting. I've never had any freak accidents really happen to me, other than like when I was like 2, I had to get like a flying ant out of my ear.
Ugh.
Same doctor later on when I was in 3rd grade, I shoved an eraser in my ear.
Oh my God.
And I had left it there for 6 months because I forgot it was there, and then I couldn't hear well and I was having earaches. Went to the same doctor who pulled the ant out of my ear, and he pulled that eraser out, and both my mom looked at me and he looked at me, and I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You said I don't know.
I'm in 3rd grade. I'm not thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've had any freaky stuff. I had like some stuff when like I was a baby that has like, yeah, like I like had like ear infections, my eardrums burst, but like, and I got sick all the time. But like that's about it. I never had anything weird like that. Knock on wood. Nothing. Happened
I've had these 2 fingernails fall off because they got crushed in the door at school, in the hinge part of the door. So you know where the hinge is, and got that. And so the fingernail fairy came, and the fingernail fairy gave me $2 per fingernail that fell off. Unfortunately, the toenail fairy did not come when my toenail fell off.
Yeah, but you know what? You had plenty of fairies in your life.
Yes.
Because gay people?
Fairy. What? Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because gay people for all the non-gays.
Right. Yeah, so that's the only weird things that have really happened with me is like my fingernails falling off, toenail falling off.
You know what? It doesn't really count because it's such a small nail. I ripped half my pinky toenail off once.
Oh, I pretty much have too. I've clipped my pinky toenail, pretty much gone.
Ugh, that's disgusting for me.
Yeah,
I hate that.
I think when I broke my pinky toe,
oh my god.
I think that's the only bone I've ever broke, and I think I did break it, but because it was like, because I got a photo too where it's like kinked all weird off to the side, and my toenail was like not looking too good with it, and yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah, thank you, Angel Gamer. Sorry, Ben.
Just barked a little. You gotta love life. Wonderful. Hey, I'd rather have a toenail be pried up than have my bone like sticking out of my arm.
Fingernail. Thank you, fingernail fairy. That's so gross. If my mom came and said that to me, I said, "Excuse you." That's a lie.
Excuse you.
Had to go to hospital to get metal removed from my eye. Oh my god! The wood shop worker. Because believe it or not,
oh yeah, I've heard that before.
This little gay. I used to do wood shop. I used to do. I was part of a club where we did mechanics, robot mechanics. I remember nothing clearly. And woodworking, which actually I really like doing woodwork because I'm gay. Yeah. No.
Hey, he likes to work on that wood.
I do like carpentry stuff. I think it's really cool. I have not had much time with it, but he has told me stories about that where he would be like had like the like those claws. I don't know what the hell they are. That put in your eyelids so it pulls them back, and then using like essentially a squeegee to go over, and then like as they're prying out the metal pieces out of your eyeball. It is horrifying.
Just take a natural earth magnet and just slowly slide it over your eye and feel all the little particles get pulled out.
That's also disgusting.
You know, I've had Skydraw is a hydraulic fluid that a lot of commercial airliners use, and there was an old Fokker 100 that American Airlines used to fly, and where the fuel panel was is you kind of had to go like up in this, you had to put your head up in this little area to see it, and it was on the side of the aircraft, and that's where a lot of the like hydraulic lines went by. I popped the panel, and before I noticed it, I got my head up in there. Instant eyes running, instant nose running, just face just red, dripping mucus snot everywhere. And I back away and you could just smell it. And so I told the pilot, I was like, there's something wrong. And like my face is going and I'm like, I don't know what it is, but you can smell it. And so the pilot comes down and he's nowhere near where the fuel panel was. And he goes, whoa, and they called the ambulance for me, but the firefighters come out in hazmat gear, so they're wearing like the white suits, white everything, hazmat, all this other stuff, and checking it out. It had a Skydraw leak, and when it vaporizes, that's what it affects mucous membranes. And so it was just making my snot and eyes and everything, and I was phlegmy and whatnot. And so, in the ambulance, they put me on oxygen immediately, obviously. And but it was funny that my head was up where the leak was with the fumes out, and there's all these firefighters walking around, in hazmat suits. Oh, there's the airport. Do you guys see the airport? I see the airport. None of y'all see the airport, but I see it.
Also, Tony Eugene, that is a disgusting story about like
What?
losing. He's like he lost a bit of the end of his finger when carrying a railway sleeper, and the other guy dropped his end and trapped his finger against the rail.
No.
He didn't break a bone, but he lost. It's like,
Yeah. So I'll give you guys a hint. If you see the runway, look at where my compass is, and look just barely to the left of it. You'll see some rabbit chasers. It's the flashing lights, and that's where the airport is. Right there.
oh, I'm
Yeah.
blind. I
See,
see that.
but this is oh yeah, and it's gonna be small in there, and I don't know what kind of quality they're getting from it. So, but this is a route I used to fly a lot, and flying, you get used to looking for certain things and visualizing them. But, yeah,
Oh my
so
God.
so that's the airport I'm going to. It's Air Lake Airport, which is the airport where I got my private pilot's license. So again, if you go on my YouTube and scroll back and look at the Air Lake flight pattern video, you will see the airport that I am going to go land at currently right now.
Also, I'm not picking my nose. I'm playing with my nose ring.
Yeah, I know, I do that too. It looks like I pick my nose and I play with my nose ring. I don't know why I do it a lot.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no disgusting stories like that, honestly. Like, of, like, these kind of things. That is crazy that mechanics have to get a head x-ray before getting an MRI for their brains, which makes sense, but oh my god. Oh my god.
Mechanics have to get a head x-ray before getting MRIs?
Because metal.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
It's
Like
horrifying.
all the little bits and stuff. That is crazy.
I'm so glad nothing like that has ever happened to me.
I wish my radio worked. If you guys know what that's from, put it in the chat. I hope you guys do. I hope you know what that is from. Because that is one of Chayse and mine's favorites. So we'll see what this chat knows or does not know. But yeah. What else? What else, Chayse?
Oh no.
What else? Come on,
You kind of,
entertain.
I took a whiff of like the half of my life and what I've been spending my mind in, and like just ranted for an hour about it.
A
And
whiff
now
of
my
half of your life.
That's right, you heard me. And now my brain is empty. It's just
Empty.
I'm just thinking about drag now.
So what songs do you want to perform?
Well, first off, I'm going to be hopefully testing this weekend and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll be performing at my home bar up in Wisconsin, Superior.
Wiscali.
Ooh, Wiscali. In a little club called the Main Club, which is an old gay bar that has been there since I think the 70s. Used to be a big biker bar, which they did lots of different things there. Closed down for a bit and then reopened, and it is just a local little gay bar. Steve Jobs? What? Geo Sam.
No, it's not from that with the I wish my radio worked. I'm assuming that he's guessing where that came from.
Oh yeah, there's movies about him, wasn't there?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in there, I don't know.
But it's this little home bar that I love. Thank you, Angel Gamer knows. The Boobs
Yes,
Burgers.
Bob's Burgers. It's Teddy sings that while he's driving his truck.
But I am going to be doing Alana Miles, Black Velvet. So love that song.
It's really good.
There's a group called AG, which they have a song. If anyone has seen it, if you haven't, it's okay. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. They have a great soundtrack. Even if you don't like the show, they have amazing music on that show.
Mm-hmm.
But that song, there's a band called AG, and I did one of their songs before called Terrible Thing, and I'm going to be doing their song Ghosts in the River. And then there's an artist called Jessie Ware. She's been around for I think 10 years. She's never hit like high records or anything. She's not like Ariana Grande.
Mm-hmm.
But hey Chris Durham.
Hello, Chris Durham. Welcome to the channel.
But I'm going to be doing one of her songs called Step Into My Life. It's very disco. I love disco. I like funk. I like boogie. I like the boogie on down.
Yeah.
I like a lot of 80s music, but
And kind of like a lot of darker type stuff too.
I like I would consider it like melancholic or gothic, but it has to have like some oomph to it. Like I love Florence Welch. I love her. So I'm gonna be doing that. I have to choose one more song because there's only gonna be 4 of us performing because limited numbers. So I have to do 4 numbers. So I have to figure out what I'm gonna do also.
Yeah.
I love doing a mix of I love doing a heavy mix. So I like showing people what I can do, but that's the thing. I'm trying to find a nice balance of like dark and like fun and upbeat and dancey.
Yeah.
You know, Tanner gets to see it all because when I work out, I love to practice a number.
Mm-hmm.
I like to get my diva on when I can.
Does.
And I swear I've almost kicked the dogs before. When you're practicing scissor kicks in the living room at like 10 o'clock at night. Thank God our downstairs people never complain.
Yeah.
But I just had to think about when I get done. It's also my drag mom's birthday weekend. So
Yeah.
I'll be celebrating her.
Nice.
Been seeing her often, thankfully in safe terms.
Right.
But yeah, just trying to figure out music. I love anything from like 80s rock to like modern pop now to folk music.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any suggestions of their favorite bands and musicians, I am always looking for new music.
Always open for suggestions.
Because also, I don't get me wrong, I love my top 40s, but I'm also trying to find so much more that is not top 40s music, because I find it a lot more interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's the other thing too. This is a little bit slower to react with the throttle, because now I got the 3 reds and 1 white.
Oh my God.
So there we go.
Tony Eugene. I lived on a boat when I was a kid and fell over the pontoon. We were moored up and the head of a nail was sticking out and went straight into my left hand at the base of my thumb.
Oh.
Ever since Home Alone. And my sister and my mom have both stepped on a nail before and it like went up and through their foot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid of that. Also, we lived in a really old house. So, like, we were, like, doing a lot of different work sometimes, and you would just find random nails. I don't know if that was a good thing.
That's a bit scary as a sketch.
You know, what can you do?
Mm-hmm.
But I was always afraid that, like, a nail would, like, well, also because my dad had a big workshop, too, so, like, he'd, like, let us, like, play with, like, stuff. Never the power tools, of course, but, like, you know. I was always afraid that I was going to step on a nail.
Yeah.
I watched my sister get kicked in the face once by a horse. She did not face any damage, though, except for bruising on her head.
Damn, she's lucked out.
Yeah,
I had a great uncle.
lucky.
I had a great uncle who got kicked by a horse, and it messed him up. You're not gonna give me the option to like request? Oh, probably because I didn't pick this as a location to go to on there, because I was like, should be able to like offer up services like fuel. Like I flew the Airbus the other day and it was kind of cool. I pulled up to the gate and then you can request gate services, so then you see the gate pull up to the airplane and attach, and then I requested catering and catering came up, and this is not how this actually goes at this airport, but okay. And so you see the catering truck pull up and all that other shit, and it was really cool. And then you can tell them to go away and put the stuff away, but alright.
Telling the people what to do.
Yeah.
Wait.
Boom. Back here.
I have not listened to Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac.
Ooh, you wanted to do Heart doing Stairway to Heaven one time though.
I would love to do Heart's version of Stairway to Heaven.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's so good. But I need to find a way to cut it so that it's not a 7-minute, because she has a lot of like there's a lot of instrumental.
Right.
And I love the instrumental, but I'm not that good of an entertainer to entertain for like a 45-second bit of like instrumental. It's why I won't do Gloria Estefan.
Yeah.
Because she has 30 seconds of Gloria Estefan like tempo music. Just instrumentals. I can't dance that fast that long.
Yeah.
I
I am not. I do like Joan Jett's version of Dirty Deeds is so good. Beats out their version of Dirty Deeds. Sorry about it. I don't care. She did a great job. I want to do Janis Joplin because I love Janis. I love Janis so much.
Sybil Shepherd was kicked in the face by a horse and broke her nose.
Also, that's another thing I'm afraid of, breaking my nose. It terrifies me. It looks very painful. I've watched a lot of movies where people's noses get broken.
I wouldn't mind breaking my nose if it meant I got it fixed. Although they did a septoplasty on it, and yeah, they didn't do a very good job of fixing my septum. It's still kind of deviated to the right, and I still get super sinusy and stuff, so...
I love Tegan and Sarah's Closer, but it's really popular amongst the drag queens here, so I like finding something else to do.
Yeah.
That is my only thing about that song. It's hard.
Giggity. That one got you.
Yes, it did. I wish I had to finish wigging here. I could show off. I don't right now.
Oh, yeah, you don't.
I don't.
Because, man, some of the wigs you pull out is insane.
Do you guys ever feel down if you have a friend who has like a fun styled wig? Put it on. Makes you feel like a whole different person.
You'll feel it.
Literally, if I
That's
feel
what it says.
awful,
You'll feel it.
if I feel like my worst day and I put a wig on that I just like got done styling, I am like to the moon and back. I said I'm the best person in the world. It makes you feel incredible. No one could tell you anything in a wig. And that's what I've learned. Damn it.
Biscuit needs some different wigs.
She does need some different wigs. I have brown hair right now,
Yeah,
but
maybe
hair.
some like actual hair wigs.
I think it'd be fun. So it can be campy still. Biscuit needs
Yeah.
She needs some hair. She needs some earrings.
Biscuit needs some big hoop earrings to dangle around.
She would really do well.
Yeah.
With some big gaudy jewelry.
Yes.
Something that's a big plastic
Something
piece
the
that's
big,
green,
the lovely on the
the
hands.
white.
Oh my god.
Something that reminds her back of her youthful days
Yes.
in the 80s when she was just hitting the town.
Hitting the town and living it up with the gentlemen's. Yes. I had a
Oh,
bull
yeah.
stomp on my foot. That was bad enough. I understood it was why I wasn't happy getting its nuts cut out with a blunt scalpel. Oh my god. Just shave your head and give no fucks.
Yeah, Sinead O'Connor it.
Yeah.
She didn't care. I love
But
Sinead
Biscuit
O'Connor.
couldn't go with no hair. Biscuit's gotta look fabulous. Gotta have the big gaudy hair.
Yeah, she's got bald patches
Gotta
in
look
other places
good.
of her body, so
Yes.
she's trying to keep the hair all on
Right.
top.
Keep it all up there.
Keep it
Sometimes
all up.
she uses the hair from other parts of her body to get woven into the hairs on her head.
She says it's turning a little silver.
Oh,
I'm gonna
it's-
grab it and
It's
just
a
put
little
it up
silver. We
there.
gotta just put it up there. Oh my god.
Oh, I think it would be lovely if you had like a silver streak in one.
A little bit of a silver streak. Oh my god.
It's a little
What's
good.
going on? What's going on over there?
Okay,
All
quick
those
second.
crazies.
Talking about those bull's testicles. I think it's so weird when trucks have like the little like bull testicles on the
that's
back.
creepy as
I
hell.
come from a farm town, and we sold like our big thing is that we sold a lot of cattle livestock, and so a lot of guys had them. And I heard about some of them actually had like the testicle in there.
Oh my god.
I think
no.
people are weird.
Yeah, they are.
I can't speak a lot, but like at least as a Native American, we had some reasoning to why we had stuff in our. Like I remember as a kid, you go up and you open the freezer, and we had a whole white eagle like wing in there. Bald eagle. I said white eagle.
No, say what's a
Bald
white
eagle.
eagle.
Or like my dad, he still has like his eagle claw, sitting on like one of his like shelves. But we had reasons. We got reasons why we got these things.
Right.
Why y'all hanging bull testicles off the end of your truck? You don't got them.
Right?
What you do with that? At
Oh
least
my
over-
god. Oh my god. Angel says Biscuit sounds like she would sing Barbara. Now, we all know the Biscuit loves the Barbara. But Biscuit cannot sing like the wonderful, most talented singer in all the world, the Barbara. No, Miss Streisand, she is on a pedestal of her own, and Biscuit cannot even come close to what Barbara can sing. And she is an angel with wings that have not been given to her yet, because if she would fly right now, she would be spreading the wonderful voice throughout the world as she flies. Pat Benatar.
I love Pat Benatar. I love me some Pat Benatar. I like going down. I like to shake my jiggies to it. I find it very difficult for me and how I dance, because I love dancing and drag. I have a disconnect when it comes to rock music. And only because I think with a lot of like classic rock and mixed rock and pop rock that like there's so much emotion that's given out. Versus modern music, I feel today there's a mixture of where like the energy's low because they're trying to keep this cool tone, while I find a lot of rock music has so much amp to it. I want to find a good way to do it, and that's where I have a subtle disconnect. Like I personally want to do Shout at the Devil, Motley Crue. I want to be all like fetish geared up, and I want to like really just go into town for it. But like I have a hard time figuring out how to move to it.
Yeah.
Or I want to do Kickstart My Heart. And that one's even more energetic. And I'm like, I don't know how to move. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, you do.
But I want to figure it out because I would love to do like stuff like Blondie, Pat Benatar, Motley Crue, Kiss. I think that would be fun to do Kiss.
That'd be a lot of fun. Her voice is like butter. It's just like butter. You're gonna get me so verklempt.
Well,
lots of people have balls on their 4x4 run.
Why aren't their balls where they should be?
So if driving a Humvee is making up for some personal lack, what is hanging bull's testicles?
Oh, let's talk about it.
Right. Let's talk about this. Oh my god. We're going to talk about this. I'll not do the biscuit voice. I'll go a little bit higher. And these guys, these gentlemen's, now they think that they're just the toughest of the tough with the masculinities and the loveliness that they and they say, you know what? I know I am a little guy. I know I have what they call the micro. And so I need to drive the big truck. So that way, when I go by and it makes the obnoxious room sound, people look at me, they see those testicles, and they realize, oh, that guy has got a small penis because of the big truck and the testicles hanging out back. He's making up for something.
It's micro penis awareness. And I think that's lovely. Let's talk about it. But did you know, I saw this on the internet. I wasn't in my OK magazine. I haven't gotten one once. I've been really trying to cut back.
I don't know. I don't like the OK magazine. I like that.
It's not okay.
No, the OK magazine. It's a little wild. I like the Cosmopolitans. The Cosmopolitans, they've got the wonderful things in there. Sometimes you can smell stuff in there. Sometimes they got the little test. The Cosmopolitans is where it's at, sweetie.
That's true. I do love to put my nose deep in it.
We know that, sweetie.
I like to talk about how the Crocs, not the killer Crocs, not the crocodiles, Crocs, the little holy shoes, the one that you get paid to put holes in your shoes. I think it's wild. They have an accessory where you can put fake testicles on the back of your Crocs. What does that mean? America, what are you trying to say?
I don't understand. I'm trying to... Now, Mr. the CEO of the Sabres. Now, you're talking about the Papa Can You Hear Me from Yentl. I am terrible as I have never seen the Yentls, but I have seen the Fiddlers on the Roof, nor have I seen Frozen.
I've seen none of that.
We're terrible.
I'm awful.
Well, what's the matter? I could go more up here and sound more like Mama from the South Parks.
Except for Frozen. I don't apologize for that. I don't think it's bad, but I'm not watching it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm into the Frozen.
She had a lot of issues, and she needed to talk about it.
She wanted to freeze the peoples. Is that what it's about? Is freezing the peoples? No, sweetie, just no. I know you got that hair. Find yourself a gentleman. You know, maybe play with his cock and balls for Mama.
Find yourself a woman.
Find yourself a man. Find yourself a woman. I have not seen Deadpool 2 either. I have not seen a lot of movies. There's a lot of movies I need to see.
We're not big movie people.
No, we've been trying to buy a movie a week, and
We're
that kind of
working on
flopped
it.
bad because we got Contact and we got
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
One
Nest.
Flew Over the Cuckoo's
We also
Nest
tried doing
gotta-
that with meals, and we just got hooked on cooking chili over and over again.
Yeah, chili became our new like addiction. Like we were gonna do like once during or every weekend we were gonna cook a big meal. You know, like a big fresh homemade meal. Not that we don't make homemade meals, but they're not like the big luxurious ones. You know, like some of our stuff is like the instant mashed potatoes. You know, or something like that.
You're doing what you can do.
Right.
You're
You know, to
feeling
try to
lazy.
save some money and not make a big mess or something like that. But it's yeah, we failed at that. We made goulash, and then we were like, oh, let's try a chili from it, and that was terrible because it had the marinara sauce in there. That we're like, oh, it's the same thing.
We really told
it
ourselves.
was terrible.
We really spun ourselves.
But then we made a great chili, and ever since then we've been like, let's make our meat and potato soup because we substitute potatoes for beans because I'm not a bean person, and it's probably a good thing that Chase doesn't have beans. So
You're a hater.
yeah, I hate the smell of what comes out of your ass after you eat beans. What's so wrong with that?
Going on, Sturm, I have not listened to Tommy Can You Hear Me by The Who. That's something I was not raised listening to The Who a lot. My dad wasn't
some
really
of
into
them,
that.
I think.
My dad was into like other forms of he liked rock.
Where were we when we heard the song Don't Worry? Fleet Farm. We were in Fleet Farm when we heard the song Don't Worry, Be Happy. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I remember when that song came out. It was like, oh, this is cool. Don't worry.
I have
Be
not
happy.
seen I've not seen the show We're Here, though I'm supposed to design a wig that was shown on We're Here for Tim is a Rocker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wish I still need to do eventually. I'm gonna wait till after the show.
Oh my god. You should have saw the wig that Chase did for Tim is a Rocker. That
Yeah, it did like
black
punk.
and blue one
Oh, the black and blue one
was
is so
fucking
suave.
it's like almost like a pompadour type.
Mhm.
Oh,
Taking the hair and
it
stuff.
was sweet as hell.
I wish I had though. What I made him, but where I made like the giant spikes. I want that wig.
Mm-hmm.
It was like huge punk rock. I would say they were 1.5 feet long.
Yeah.
Spikes. I really wish. I had
Are
that
you
one.
talking about Pinball Wizard? Fix the shit out of that god awful Titanic song. Tommy, can you?
Winnie
Tommy
the
can
Pooh.
play a mean pinball.
What the hell? Full on Winnie the Pooh.
Shirt cocking it. Deadpool 2 also gave us the phrase shirt cocking it. Full on Winnie the Pooh is Winnie the Pooh because he's like not wearing pants and a
I don't
shirt.
know what's going on, but I love
know.
Winnie the Pooh.
As long as they know what's going on in the chat.
I love
a lot of
Winnie
this.
the Pooh. Don't get me started. I've seen the first Deadpool. I've not seen the second.
Yeah, I think I've seen parts of one of them.
Which I love because I feel like they got his story more accurate because Deadpool has an incredible character background. Also, they're featuring mutants that are not featured often in X-Men because X-Men just gets the popular guys, and I think it's really sad because I think X-Men has so many variant types of mutants, and I think there's so many different story plots that are fascinating, and I really wish they would do X-Force Black Ops movies. I don't care about any of the other story plots. X-Force Black Ops, because it is the T.
The T. Explain to anyone who might be my generation out there what the T is.
Wow.
Because I had to explain that to Sarcastic
Which
Barman the
you
other
didn't even
night.
get it right the
I
first
know.
time. Okay,
I
so
know.
let me tell you something. The youngins.
Well, I did tell him what it actually
Yeah.
meant, but I got it wrong on who came up with it or said it.
The youngins these days have really relived, and especially a lot of.
The youngins, says the 25-year-old.
I'm talking about anyone from 30s to like 13, 14, because I see the music still. There's a lot. It's called drag lingo, and drag lingo really derived from the ballroom scene, which was predominantly queer people of color and trans people of color, back in the 70s and the 60s. And
there's things like when we say spilling the tea, capital T is the truth.
Spilling the truth.
And so, you know, we were saying, I'm spilling some tea. We just saying, I got some truths to talk about. I got some things to say that are not been said, and they're coming to the surface finally.
Spilling the tea.
But a lot of younger people like using that lingo now. A lot of straight people have taken on that lingo as well because they heard it from gay people, which is a very common thing that happens. And gay people heard it from people of color, and that's a common thing that happens. So that will come back from there. That's what the tea is. It's truth.
Spilling that tea.
I'm dishing it out.
Dishing the tea, spilling the tea.
Serving piping hot
Noki,
Gray.
Noki, it's all about the tea. You know, I'm all about that tea. About that tea. No D.
Oh my god.
He's just a little baby. Yeah.
Tina Turner. I love Tina Turner can turn any crowd out.
Right.
Tina, turn it.
Yes. Angel says I am robbing the cradle. No. I did not seek him for his age.
You didn't? You
No.
didn't think I was young and supple?
I thought you were supple, but I didn't care about the young. So, little boy, what is going on with you? Oh my god, it was storming so hard the other day.
I know.
Was shaking.
Poor little boy.
He was just like, I pick him up and I was like, oh my god, my little nugget. This is my little nugget. The one by the red blanket, he's a peanut. And then Bailey above him is the Rolo. Because he's a little Rolo chocolate something or other. So. Noki, can you say hi to everyone up there?
Wait, Deadpool 2 has X-Force in it? Who all did they show from X-Force? I need to know.
You better answer him. Or is he gonna get angry?
Yeah, this little boy, he's like the most fiercest acting one out of the three, but when it comes to big noises, he's not a fan.
He's just a big baby. I like to, you can basically just do like whatever you want. He just sits here.
He will, as long as he's in your arms, he could almost care less.
No, but this,
except
when
for
he's
right now.
when he's on camera, he doesn't like to be held like a baby. For whatever reason, when he is on camera, he doesn't want to be held like a baby. Any other time, yes. On camera, no. Otherwise, normally he will lay like this, and he loves it. My uncle's hubby is like 20 years younger than him. Age is just a number. Yeah. To an extent. There's a bottoming out number that it doesn't become just a number anymore.
I still remember when my stepmom said, when I first told her, like, yeah, I'm dating this guy. He's 15 years older than me. She goes, no, you always liked older men. I was like, where'd this come from? She just threw it at me. She read me the filth. She let me have it.
Noki.
You afraid? Are you shy of the people? Do you not love to be on camera?
Well, no, now he's fairly relaxed. But
Noki, you should feel relaxed. My nipples almost fell out twice on this already.
that's alright. We're okay with a little nip slip now and then. Maybe we should start to wrap it up. It's been about 2 hours.
Yeah, he's letting us know.
Yeah, he's getting tired.
Yeah, I am getting hungry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm getting hungry
guys.
too.
I'm a real person. I get hungry.
We ate right before we came on stream, but it was not very filling. We just had corn dogs. So maybe we'll go deep fry some egg rolls.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Some deep fried egg rolls, and we only have like 7 matsu sticks left over, so deep frying. But tomorrow's I forgot to make you hot cocoa tonight.
I thought about when we first started. It was like, yeah, we're already in it.
I was gonna make him hot cocoa for the stream tonight. We're dealing with my mess and doing everything around, and just because it's funny to watch him drink my hot cocoa, because he just. Oh, did you get cocoa though when you went to the store?
I didn't.
Yeah, so we wouldn't have been able to do hot cocoa because the night that you were going to go get chili powder, I said get hot cocoa powder too, and so
I have goldfish
maybe good thing that we didn't. Let's see, our Pitbull mix is terrified of storms. We had to buy a 1,000 gunner kennel because if it stormed, he would destroy other kennels and wreck the house if we were not home. Wow, that's
Dang.
insane.
I believe it though. Dogs can really tear it up.
Yeah, I'm with my puppy today. He has been stuck out on the farm since the fecking real estate agent turned up early and found Ziggy. I miss having my pup with me.
Aww.
Yeah. At least you're with him today, but and I hear Bailey whining. I don't know why Bailey. Come here, Gizzy. Gizzy, come here. But yeah, he was. I don't know. He used to not be so afraid of storms, and come here. I don't know what also made him so shaky and freaked out by storms, but yeah, he was shaking like crazy. And this is little Gizzy, little Gizapiz. Yeah, there's Bailey. Bailey was like, maybe I'll come say hi.
Little Bailey.
Oh yeah, he wants to come say hello. So we'll let the doggy say hello. Meantime, Noki's down there wagging his tail in between us, like, I want up now. Oh, Bailey's fine.
Little old man.
Yeah, he's getting pretty old. He's got a big old, I don't know what that is on his belly, but it's a big lump that it's not affecting him or anything. It just looks weird. You do pee sideways though. You pee really well when you lift one leg, but not so well with the other leg.
I'd say when he hikes his leg, he's literally doing a split. He like brings it out as far as he can, and I'm like, you are very dramatic.
But the one side you can see his lump. The one side with the leg up, he pees nice and straight sideways, but when he does the other leg, it pees almost like straight down. It doesn't go to the side. 6 pound, 14-year-old toy poodle. He's my angel boy. Yeah, so
God.
Bailey is I'm his best friend. Noki, I'm his soulmate, and Gizzy, I'm his guardian angel. So,
And I'm mom.
your mom.
I'm mom.
So, for more dance music, and I bet this song has been suggested already, Delight, Groove in That Heart.
Groove is in the heart, literally. We could be anywhere.
Do you feel it?
I could be at a funeral. I could be at my parents' funeral, and I will turn up.
You will turn up.
I will put on a wig suddenly. I'll be dancing. People will be throwing dollars at this funeral for me.
So we got to do this for Chris Durham then sometime.
Because I love Groove in the heart. Okay, Mr.
Yeah.
I love Groove is in the heart.
I think he's afraid of storms because when we found him, he was on the side of the road and he had been shot. Ooh, dear
Jesus.
Lord. Yeah, Noki, when I lived at the drop zone, what is it, 2 summers ago now? 3 summers ago now?
Yeah.
Wow, time flies. 3 summers ago
3
now.
summers.
They would shoot off fireworks now and then, and we'd be outside the little bus that we converted into a camper, and I think like when he was outside, then all of a sudden, boom, and he'd freak out and go running. So I think it's the fireworks that scared him.
This is a weird thing. Because I'm talking about thinking that the dog might have been shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a freaky thing living in a small town. People talk about shooting animals like it's nothing, and I think it's really weird.
Yeah.
I had friends where they're like, yeah, my brother got mad at me, so he shot my cat. And I was like, that's odd. I want to let you know that your brother, I'd be concerned about him.
Right.
I think it's free. And that happened a lot. That kind of conversation happened all the time. And I think it's really weird. Side note, sorry, but that's something I think about a lot because it's bizarre.
Yeah. I like, Cool became a dog groomer. Angel became a dog groomer. And then do a shoot. We said one time I wanted your drag mom, and your drag grandma, I guess you'd call her, but your drag mom's mom.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted them to do the Andrews sisters. I think that would be
so
cool. Yeah, if the 3 of them went up and did an Andrews sisters song, I think that would just be fabulous. I think people would love it.
I would put my eyebrows on.
Three gorgeous women up there. Maybe doing either the Chattanooga Choo Choo or the Bugle Boy of Company B with your little military outfits on, or looking all lovely and gorgeous like you ladies do.
I think that would be lovely.
Bailey, what you doing? But all right, guys, I think we're gonna end the stream here. Like I said, a little over 2 hours. We've been doing Brainy Beaver goodbye. So
yeah.
thanks guys for stopping by and joining us, and thanks for letting us vent for that first hour or so with the whole COVID stuff going on with our roommate and everything. I'll probably message him or give him a call back and see who was up, because he did call during the stream when Tina's like, he's watching it.
I forgot he called.
So, and then I'll have to show people some point my new gaming desk here and everything that I got
you got to show
going
off.
on. Yes, Kizzy, we know. We're gonna sign off, okay, buddy? He's telling us, shut up, get off. So, yeah. Or Sisters from White Christmas, yeah. There's times you can try. I want your love, or maybe I don't care by Transvision Vamp.
Oh.
So you'll have to write those down. But yes, guys, we're gonna call it a night. Again, thanks for coming by. Give it a like if you're not subscribed. I'm assuming you guys are subscribed, but if not, subscribe. And as always, you know, I have Patreon in the top, or I got Venmo and PayPal up there if you guys ever want to contribute to the channel to help out with things. Because like computer desks and stuff, you know, I pay for it, but it'd be nice to upgrade sometimes if people like my stuff. I'm gonna get a video out tomorrow. I believe it's gonna come out at 2:15 Central Time for Premiere Thursdays. So check that out. Glober Mom, if you're still here, I don't know if you are. I think Glober Mom does the playlist now. So tomorrow by, I would say, 11:30 a.m. Central Time, or maybe close to noon Central Time, she should have the playlist up on her channel. It's just click play playlist for the newest Premiere Thursday, and it takes you to each content creator, so that, you know, you see their premiere. When their premiere done, it kicks you straight over to the next person's premiere, and it's basically for anyone who's got small channels going on, to try to help them grow, and it works out really well. So thank you guys. Tony, thank you for being good company. Thanks to everyone else for being here. And here's the outro.